Hello there fellow humans, and today I'm going to talk about how to win fights without fighting anybody. Now in the first game, it's the Object 260. Now this isn't really a good vehicle. It doesn't have the armor that you would want on a heavy tank like this. It only does have 6 degrees of gun depression, which makes it pretty difficult to fight on a map like mine. However, if you can position yourself correctly, then you can still use that just fine. And you can even fight a Kranwagen in a position like this. Now, I want to talk about how to win fights without actually fighting anybody. Sounds a bit contradictory, but hear me out. This is going to make quite a lot of sense at the end of the video, so definitely stay tuned for that, because these are 2 battles in a row that are both aces. So, first of all, I'm going to take a position that the tank works in, right? I only have 6 degrees of gun depression, so I'm going to have to stay on somewhat flat ground. Now what I see here is I'm going to take space. Those Kranwagens are disappearing off to the cap side, which now means there's nobody right here in the middle engaging me. So do I want to stay in the middle and just chill there? No, I want to actually move forward and take some space. However, I don't want to just run into these guys. Like, you see me not pushing to the Caro and the Leopard right now. You see me looking at the E100. You see me, okay, the 4005 is now dead. So now I can engage the 2 mediums. And again, I'm not just going to jump down there. I'm going to use the cover here. I'm going to take a shot, switch to HE, and then take a shot, and now reload. Because the best thing you can do is fire, hide in cover, reload in the cover, and then peek out again, and fire again. And also, if you want to maximize damage, always switch to HE if you assume that you can pen a plate with HE. It doesn't cost you anything. That 1 second, switch to HE, can it pen? Okay, fire it. Can it not pen? Switch back to AP, and then boom. So it always helps to switch to HE if you have the option to do so, on the time to do so. It only takes a second, and get good at that. And, I mean, generally get quick at making decisions, because the faster you are at making decisions, the better you're going to be. But what you see here is I'm still full HP. I didn't fight anybody, but I did 1.6k assistance damage and over 2,000 damage already. So 3,000 at this point. So I haven't fought anybody, but I have 3k damage. Now why is that? Because I've used the map and the team constellation to my advantage, right? I've never got myself into a position where the enemy is actually able to fight me. The enemy is always going to be busy with some of my teammates, where I'm just going to dart around them and have shots anyway. Now, why am I not going to fight the Kranwagen and the E100 here? Well, because this Kranwagen, he has less hit points to me, he has less DPM than me, he's on flat ground, which means he can't use any of his advantage, and my teammates are engaging the other 2 enemies, which means this guy's free real estate. He has 3 hit points. Now, obviously, I'm going to take the kill on the Kranwagen because he's poking out. And now we have a E100 and a Leopard. Leopard takes out the E100. And now what I want to do again, switch to HE and get extra damage. Leopard's dead. However, I'm still full HP because I didn't fight anybody. I was just sitting behind them, shooting them in the ass every single time. And that is how, unfortunately, if you want to become a really good player, you have to also understand how to use your team to maximize your own output, right? Because you're never, unfortunately, you're never gonna get maximum results if you're just selfless and you take shots for everybody and you just push into any situation and you defend any teammate's survival. You have to learn to use a teammate's demise to your advantage, right? Because if you just push into the enemies, as you'll see in this battle, that is gonna pretty much always end very badly. Now the Corsa 1B is a much better tank than the Object 260. 10 degrees of gun depression, excellent turret armor, pretty much hull down undefeated, and accuracy and all that is also very good, but somewhat this tank and the guns normal, right? It's nothing outstanding right there, because most of the tanks, they're somewhat similar. So in this case, what I want to do here is, again, take space, take map control. If I control the map, if I control the fight, I can make bad decisions for the enemy, and I push that E50M out there. And now this Super Conqueror, he's trying to push forward. However, he can't, because I can shoot him. I have the cover here right in front of me, and he doesn't. He has to close the distance towards me if he actually wants to fight me, and that is another very important thing. Distance is a form of armor, a form of protection, right? Because the guys are further away to me, and they want to fight me, and I'm in an advantageous position like this one, right? I'm just sitting here. I'm not really doing much, right? I'm just sitting here. The guys have to come to me if they want to fight me, and I can use that time that they take to get to me to make extra decisions, to get extra shots, or to reposition, right? You never want to be too close to the enemy in the majority of cases, unless you're just blatantly face-hugging them, right? That zone of between face-hugging and 50 meters, you kind of don't want to have any enemies in that distance because they can jump at you really quickly. I mean, look at what's happening right here. And now I'm going to retreat. I'm not going to stay in that position because I'm dead there, right? I have the mouse on one side, the 183 on the one side, and then the E100 and the Super Conqueror on the other side. And I don't want to get surrounded like that. I always want to fight what's right in front of me. And ideally, I don't want to fight anyone at all. Right, now in this case, again, the mouse is going to kill the Batchat, but there's an E3 over there. I know that if the 183 and the mouse pushes, they're pushing themselves into a pincer maneuver with me and the E3. So now I can use that to my advantage. The 183, he's trying to go for the E3. The E3 is well armored, he has a lot of hit points, so nobody's going to push that guy anytime soon. Now, 4,000 damage already dealt. Have I really fought anyone? No, I've always just shot at people, shot at people, shot at people, and when someone tries to fight me, I'm going to retreat, I'm going to reposition, I'm going to change the direction I approach from. And now, again, here is the stupid peak I was talking about earlier. Super Conqueror, E50M, mouse. Never do that. You never want to fight multiple tanks at the same time. You always want to have one target, and that target ideally not looking at you. And to facilitate that, to get into a position where that is the case, that is what's going to take the most skill, right? Now here, E50M's not looking. I can do this move because I know Super Conqueror can't kill me, and he still can't kill me now. And now that's 5,500 damage. And again, I take the peak, shoot the cupola. You're gonna be fast, you're gonna take map control, and you're gonna avoid directly fighting anybody. Now here, I'm not gonna peek that E100. I'm gonna wait till he fires at the E3, and then I'm gonna peek it. Now I know, somewhere around 15 seconds is reload, which means I can fire at him, I can reload once, and then I'm gonna have to disengage. Now, here he's in a position he can't shoot me because his tank is angled that way, so I can just push forward. And that is 6,500 damage with just 3 basic things. Map control, game awareness, and only fight one tank at a time. And only fight when you have an absolute advantage. Because if you don't hold all the cards, you hold no cards. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Goodbye.